asking the questions and let them start answering the questions better than that.
Absolutely, and it just they'll tell you which direction to go after that. Set back in your chair and let them respond. Because
so it doesn't
they
have
will
to
tell
get
you.
It doesn't have to get all complex and convoluted, trying to show all this income rider and all this stuff, and look at this 7% count that you're never really going to get at because you got to spend your money first, and when you die, this account evaporates.
The tone, Steve, and everybody on this phone call, the tone has already been set that it can only get better because of the 0% look. It's already been gotten, and just from a standpoint of what I used to do, I can tell you this, and I told Steve this earlier before everybody came on the phone. The one thing that I have had to do, and probably everybody on this phone call has had to do at one point in time, is to talk to the spouse and go over that they just lost 30 or 40%, but now the husband's gone. And that, if you've ever had to do that, that's not easy to do. With this, it's cut and dried. We know where we stand from the moment we meet.
That's right. It can only get better.
That's right.
So it doesn't have to get all convoluted with interest rates and this and that. Look, put it in at 0. Here's what you have. Here's what's left over. If that's not enough, if we make interest, it can only get better. Cut and dry. Guys, it is that easy. And if you have these advocates, if you do this for people, they will sing your praises. The number one question, I know, Keith, you asked that. Then you go back into this presentation.
Yep.
You walk them through that, and you take your deep breath, and then you start
And I really don't have to show them the last part of that where you can show them what 6% would do.
Okay, you stop at 0.
I really don't need to, because it only is going to get better. I mean, we're done. And they say, well, yeah, Keith, you don't have to go on. Let's don't go on. Let's get the app out. That's what it is. And then you have these clients, and I don't mean to take everybody's time, but you have these clients like yesterday. I delivered a policy. I said, do you want to go over this? She goes, no. All I want to know is I'm going home for Christmas. I'm going to Southwest Kansas, and can I have about 2 or 3 cards? And I said, 2 or 3? Is that all your friends you're going to have down there? How about taking 10 or 12? She took 20.
And there you go.
Now, I'm sorry, that's my advocate. And I said, so have you just committed to being my advocate? She said, I already have been. I've talked to 5 people before I got here today about this program.
So we'll be 28 for 28 here very shortly.
Let's hope so.
Now, for you guys on the qualified plan side, this is where it gets even better because they have to take the income. They're going to get forced to. Mr. and Mrs. are going to be very concerned, and it's the way that it goes. So Mrs. is more concerned. Why? Because if Mr. keeps living, she's going to have less. So we need to address that. So here's what we did. We took $1 million. We threw it in here. Those are the RMDs. There's our accumulation value. At what interest rate do we always show, Keith? 0, right?
0.
0. We don't have to show crazy pie-in-the-sky stuff. The family endowment rider, our guaranteed income-based benefit, which I could honestly care less about the income rider because we all know how those things work, and then our cumulative benefits. So now let's talk about this for a second. So if I have on the qualified side, I put the money in, right? If you go to the far right column where it says cumulative benefit, okay, I have my cumulative benefit of $525,000. So I spent $525. I put $1 million in, I spent $525. If I have $1 million and I spend $525 and I made no interest, I basically have $475 left over, right? However, guys, look at the family endowment rider column and take it to the bottom. See where it says $1,025,196? I put in $1 million. I spent $525. I left $1,025,196. Question. Keith, when you sit down and show this to people, because I know you've done a lot of qualified money, and you do the same exact thing that we're doing right here.
Well, here's the response. This is my response to them. Now, Mrs. Jones, can I become part of your family?
Yeah.
And
I'm up for adoption, absolutely.
She starts laughing, and I said, well, why wouldn't I want to be part of that $1,025,000? You only put in $1 million. You took out $525. You get $1,025,000. I want to be part of your family. Is that okay? I haven't
Guys,
had a taker on that yet, but that's
No,
seriously.
Well, you
It's
haven't
sold.
missed a sale, but you haven't been adopted yet either, so that's okay. At the rate you're going, you won't need adoption. But the reality of it is this, guys. I put in $1 million. I had access basically to $1,550,000, and I never made a penny. How do you miss an IRA sale with that? I don't know. You can't. You're not trying, or you're not in the business, or you're not focused.
Steve, may I interrupt? The first 3 columns for everybody on this phone call are really all you need to show. Bottom line.
Yep. The RMD, the accumulation, and the family endowment rider. The rest is irrelevant. It really is. Guys, that's how this works. And this is a guy 23 for 23 showing you. If you're not doing it, you're missing it. Last but not least here, we pay the freight. Make a deal. When you write business with us, we pay for your overnight. We want to make this as easy and simple as possible for you to do business with us. We're giving you the best solution in the marketplace with a 316-year-old company, which obviously matters in today's day and age. It's not some 15, 16-year-old company that's doing this. We will take care of that for you. Last but not least is our Turn Up the Heat. As you saw, December 1st through the 4th, Keith was at our December 1st training and came out. The conference call that Robert and Craig were on earlier with the guy right there in the white shirt in the top left corner, that's who they were talking to. Andy, he's sitting in the front row. He's written a little over $7 million with us. If you look at the bottom right-hand corner, these 2 guys in the front row, the kind of premature balding guys there, those 2 brothers have made $1 million each with us this year doing this. Their average case size is $217,000, just north of that, by coming to the training. I'm going to tell you what, these guys make $1 million each, and he's writing over $7 million. Some of you guys on this phone call say, oh, I don't have the time to come out there. Keith, you manage a book of $56 million, correct?
Correct.
Of money under management?
Yes.
Okay, you found time to get here, didn't you?
The best meeting I've ever been to with the best product I've ever sold.
Now, with this, guys, we offer a lot of value in this little meeting. Number one is you're going to meet Richard Cato. Richard's the guy who invented the indexed annuity. He also invented this product. He holds the worldwide patent on equity indexed annuity. He flat out says annuities from the Nexus Group offer an inherent, substantial, sustainable, structural competitive advantage. You're not getting better faster than your competition. You're getting worse. We get about 250 agents a month out here to come to training. And guess what? You're getting worse than they are if you're not participating in it. Okay? Second part, Bob Meckenstock. Bob is our RIA advisory, our broker-dealer. We have teamed up with these guys, and it's very important. That's how I met Keith. Very important. Why? We understand source of funds is coming. We understand RIA, IAR models. We understand this is all coming. Guess what, guys? We want to be able to help you facilitate that so we can help capture more assets for you, okay? So we're going to do that. We'll show you, lead you the right path. And I don't know, Keith, how long have you worked with Bob?
Since 1987.
Okay, so he can't be that bad of a guy if you stuck around that long.
Well, so he's gone, so I can say whatever I want to. No.
Yeah.
Great relationship. Great relationship.
Yeah, Bob is a great guy. IRA Incorporated, a lot of guys come out, and I know, Keith, you sat through the IRA training also. We actually do IRA training, break this thing down so you can use it. It's not about facts and figures and numbers. He actually gives you stuff that you can apply to your business.
Door
Last
openers.
but not least, yeah,
door openers.
There's a picture of Craig in Shanghai, China, doing a lot of marketing over there when he was in the toy business. You know what? Craig does phenomenal marketing where we can sit up time to sit with you and do that and help you with a marketing plan. Not advertising, marketing, okay? And we've been working with Keith and with a lot of these guys to help build their marketing plan. And right now our advocacy plan is working out great. You guys all met Robert on the call. Turn up the heat. This guy is going to show you how to stay focused and help you stay focused and help be there for you so you stay within the lines and help you stay that way. The Nexus training experience, our innovation is the difference. Right now, guys, I want you to just think about this for a second. We have 3,800 producing agents. We're going to write over $2.8 billion in premium this year. That's about $8 million a guy. I challenge any insurance company in the country to take their top 3,800 agents and match that kind of premium. Heck, I think Allianz is only going to do $4 billion in premium this year, and guess what? They got 100,000 agents. You tell me how good our guys are and how many dollars they're getting off the table. They're getting the dollars off the table because they are applying themselves, and we are getting some of the best of the best. without question. And you got one of them on the phone here with you today sharing exactly what he does. The other part about the meeting, which I think is great, is you get to mingle with your peers, and a lot of good ideas come out of that social time that we get to spend too. One of our guys said, I am so glad I came again. We have a lot of repeat guys. Andy's been here before. He writes $7 million. He came in December. Keith started with us in September, and he's here. Bob comes out every trip to come talk to us. All of our guys come back and back because they always pick stuff up every time they come. But some of you guys just won't have the time to get here. Last but not least, our man Seth Joyner. If you don't know who Seth is, Seth played the linebacker for Buddy Ryan with the Eagles. Then he played out here with the Cardinals, won a Super Bowl in Denver. 3-time Pro Bowler, 13-year NFL veteran. If you don't think he knows about focus and winning and what it takes to stay dedicated, well, you're wrong. And I'll tell you what, there aren't a whole lot of differences between football and business. The only difference is we don't wake up bruised. Just our egos, right? Not our bodies. And Seth is a great guy. He runs a charity that we work with, helping underprivileged kids with financial literacy. That's how we got teamed up. If trips are your deal, obviously a lot of you guys on this call are working your way to Rome. You got till March, $4 million qualifying. And last but not least, thank you. Now, one of the things that I wanted to do for you before we get off this call real quick, if you want any of this information, you have to call us. You want to know what? We're not going to send it to you. And here's why. Because we send it to you, it gets lost in the mailbox. And then you go, oh, I got it. And then you think it's supposed to work just because it was emailed to you. You're going to have to be proactive on this. If you want some slides, if you want some stuff, if you want to sit with Craig and talk about a marketing plan or marketing ideas, if you want some direction from Robert, if you want that engagement form, right, Robert? You have the engagement form, all that kind of stuff. You just have to call in, and we will talk with you and get that to you. We will not send it unless you contact us. Because here's why. We want you guys to be serious about what you're doing. Keith, I know you got serious about it. How much have you made in the last 3 months, Keith, if you don't mind sharing? Or how much, better yet, how much business have you written in the last 3 months since you started?
Well, that's all. Today is my 4th day of my 10th week.
4th day of your 10th week, and
4th day of my 10th week, and I've probably made $160,000.
There you go. All because of one little stupid idea of asking, how would you like to put your money in, take it out, and leave more to your spouse no matter what happens.
Yeah. It's been tough. I hate it.
You hate it, right? I'll apologize for raising your tax bracket. My fault. Yep. So there you go.
I know.
But the reality of the deal is this. Guys, we do this. We do it every day. Our phone number's right there. All you got to do is call in, call your marketers, chit-chat with them, and ask them what you need, and we'll be able to get over the stuff that you need. Guys, if you're doing business with us, we're more than happy to bend over backwards and help you anyway. If you're not doing business and you're not writing this concept, we are trying to figure out what you're doing. Keith and I had this conversation, and we'll let you guys go. I know the caps on all these annual reset products are around 4.5% or so. The monthly point-to-points are between 1.9 and maybe 2.2%. How do you sit down with a client and show them that and explain that to them and they actually buy that? We're baffled at that. The other part is we know that those caps and that stuff's not going up. Why? That 10-year note has been bought and purchased. That block of business is not going to raise that cap much more than 1/4 of a point at best. So whatever they buy today, they better like for 10, 12 years from now. That business will get moved, whether you move it. Well, better yet, if you have to go out there and try and move it, how do you ever create an advocate? How is that person supposed to go, God, this guy did the greatest thing in the world. My stuff hasn't moved up 4.5%, 5% since I bought it. That's probably pretty tough, isn't it, Keith?
That's not tough. That's the worst.
There you go. So how do you get that? We're offering some real solutions to real problems that are out there. Guys, ladies, thank you so much for getting on the call. I'm sorry we went just a couple minutes long, but we do appreciate the time. Like I said, call in. There's our number. If you need something, we are definitely here. If you're not calling us, I promise you we'll be calling you guys. Thanks and have a great day. Bye-bye.